AMS, to import and sell electrical goods.
And I suppose the next stepping stone was me getting a little bit concerned that all I'm really doing is kind of on a treadmill, really, and nothing there with none of my own intellectual property in the product. It was like Me Too products. So I wanted to move into manufacturing.
The young Alan Sugar flew to Hong Kong to buy components and set up a production line in London. Result? The cheapest hi-fi equipment on the market. It would have been a game show host's dream.
Presenting the Amstrad 8000 amplifier. Get ready for the 1970s with Amstrad's exciting new hi-fi experience. With bass and treble controls, mono and stereo outputs and integrated headphone socket, the Amstrad 8000 offers rich harmonics and authentic frequency range. All for just £17.70. Tune into Amstrad today.
Amstrad was profitable. Sugar expanded to bigger premises, near where his family still lived in the East End.
When he got his first factories, we couldn't comprehend. I was just going to use that word. We couldn't comprehend anything like that in business. He didn't come from business people, and we couldn't believe that Alan was going to have his own factory and people working for him.
We look at this unit.
From amplifiers, the ambitious Sugar went on to make complete hi-fi systems and came up with an ingenious way to compete with the big manufacturers.
The hi-fi industry was made up of you owning a separate amplifier, a separate tuner, and a separate tape deck, yeah? So you had three elements to this thing, and then you went and put it in a wooden rack. And each of those things had its own separate power cord that you had to plug into the wall. And on top of that, not to get too technical, inside those things there was a lot of duplicated components. And so it dawned upon me one day that if I made an aesthetic look as if you had a separate amplifier and a separate tuner and a separate deck, but had one lump of electronics in the back, there'd be some massive savings. And that's what I did.
Towers, belt drive, 3-band tuner.
Sugar's tower systems undercut the competition and became Amstrad's first blockbuster product.
£29, £159, £149, £169 or less at these selected stores.
His success in hi-fi allowed Sugar to buy his Essex mansion in 1983.
The heron comes and he sits himself in the middle of the pond like a statue and then stuns them, picks them up and takes them out and has lunch.
The house is still the centre of the Sugar family's world.
Yeah. And do you come around much, I guess?
Yeah, I do, especially now, not working and the kids, yeah, quite a lot, yeah.
Mum, providing?
Yeah, absolutely. Babysitting.
Yeah. Oh, really?
Babysitting, yeah.
All the children were brought up here and still live nearby, now with their own families.
When the grandkids are around, it's like a mini Brands Hatch. If they're not recharged, then we're in trouble when they get round here, because one of them has got a car that works, the other one hasn't got a car that works, so it's a bit of a kind of a nightmare. I leave it to the wife to sort out.
When Amstrad floated on the stock market in 1980, Sugar sold a quarter of his stake for £2 million. He showed his father the cheque.
He said, so many notes. I just can't believe it. And he phoned me up, because we were living there, on the telephone, and he says, I don't know what he's going to do with the money. I said, well, Alan will find a use for it. Don't worry.
£2 million for you and for your father must have been quite a moment.
Yeah, amazing. Yeah, of course it was. But we're not big emotional people, really. I think I get it from my mum and dad. They were kind of quite miserable people. I think it was the hard life that they had, so wouldn't have seen the ranting on and the emotion of it, like, well, can you believe it? Hey, from where you started? No, you wouldn't get that. My mother would say, very, very nice. Seriously, that's what she would say, oh, very, very nice. Tea?
Wealth hasn't divided Sugar's family. His brother is a retired taxi driver. He and his sisters haven't asked for handouts.
I think Alan's quite fortunate with us.
No, we don't make demands.
Not a demanding family at all. I do know that...
if anything bad happens
that's
to
right.
us,
He's always there
would
for
be
us.
there.
And you don't have to ask.
You would always take the initiative in finding out the result.
So you haven't got that worry, you see, at the back of your mind. You've got the security.
Yeah. Sugar had made his fortune, aged 33, but the best was yet to come. New products were appearing in the shops called home computers. Sugar wasn't impressed.
There's no rocket science in this computer stuff, right? It's chips, printed circuit boards, lumps of metal, transformers, power cords and cables. That's all it is. And that, I think, is why we were so successful, because of that philosophy. Don't be blinded, don't be sucked in by this mystique of what this hardware is all about. It's nothing special.